Hello friends, thank you for joining me today. Today I'll be sharing my Book of Shadows through the month of October through Mabon and Samhain. I'm using this Hobonichi Techo cousin planner. So when I open it up, I really like how I am using these pockets on the front page now. I have different cards with different pieces of advice and some other cards and information. And this pretty postcard. For the month of October, I used these planner stickers since it was very Halloween themed. I just really like this spread. It makes me happy. Just all the different Halloween stickers. It's cozy and spooky in a fun, cute way. I have the full moon, the dark moon. I started using the weekly spreads. What I'm doing is I have these witch affirmations. I got these online and there's 50 of them. And what I was originally doing was in the morning I was reading all 50 aloud, kind of as like a daily kind of ritual to remind myself of who I am and what I'm doing here in the craft. But it's actually a lot of things to read out loud if you have a busy morning. And it's so much information, it's hard to absorb. So now what I do is I pick one every morning. Sometimes I close my eyes and just point to one. Sometimes I just pick one, but I pick one and I go to the weekly spread and I write down that affirmation. This one says, I'm trying to read it upside down. It says, I communicate my intentions clearly. So, and this one says, everything I do with intent. This one says, I influence reality. So, what I've been doing is doing one of those every morning when I remember. And then in addition to the witch affirmations, I just do some gratitude each morning. So I wasn't using the weekly spreads for a while. It was like a lot to do the weekly spreads and the daily spreads, but yeah, I'm now just using the weekly spreads for affirmation and gratitude. And I have it bookmarked so I can just flip right to it. And then I have my Wheel of the Year. I actually need to fill in the Samhain section, so falling a little bit behind. It's been a crazy month. But yeah, I have my affirmations, my period tracker, period and moon tracker. And then I'm gonna flip to the month of October. So bookmarked. And I'm actually gonna skip the first couple days because I just really didn't like how they turned out. So I'm gonna start on October 4th. But what I did on that day was I was walking and I saw some beautiful, vibrant, like orange fall leaves. And so I just picked them up and I put them in here and wrote Mabon greetings. And then here I have notes on Tarot 101. So I watched a video on YouTube on just the basic backgrounds on what tarot cards are, what the different ones are, and a couple layouts, a simple 3-card layout and a 7-card layout. And I've actually, I use this page a lot because I got a tarot deck and I use this page to remind me how to do it. And then these couple pages are a little bit random. I volunteered at a forest restoration project, and what I ended up doing was removing blackberry bushes. And if anyone has ever tried to deal with blackberry bushes. They are very difficult, very thorny, very stubborn. And so when I came home, I was just, I had spent like 4 hours on removing blackberry bushes, and I just wanted to learn more about them. So I just looked up blackberry bushes and took notes on that. And then this is just some quick notes on some different magic herbs and their use. And then there was the full moon in Aries. And just a couple incantations, a couple potions for luck, and a Mabon cleaning spell. Then I took some notes on moon water, how to collect it and how to use it, and I actually really like this spread. It's pretty. This is also a little bit random, but I recently planted this hydrangea shrub, and I had this tag on kind of information about it and how to take care of it, and I was like, I need to find a place to put this so I don't lose it, and I kind of decided to just put it in here because I was like, well, I definitely won't lose it if it's in here, and it's about a plant, and I don't know if I'm going to focus on a certain type of witchcraft, but yeah, this month I have some notes on different plants, so maybe that's the path I want to go. And then this page I really, really like. This is actually a Sanskrit verse that I actually learned a long time ago as a child, and I just wanted to write it down and its meaning, and kind of explore more of that part of my background, instead of just more of pagan traditions and all. I also wanted to go into my kind of Hindu and Indian traditions, and this verse says, Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Dharshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. And it's a really beautiful and popular verse from the Bhagavad Gita. And so I was thinking about this, and I was like, should I focus more on kind of Hinduism and that background, because that's kind of my cultural background. There's this other YouTuber who she focuses on like Chinese mysticism and does all her Book of Shadows on that because that's her background. But I thought about it, and I think one of the things I really like about the pagan traditions is how they go with our seasons. So obviously right now is the fall season, but even the winter season with the snow, and the summer season. I grew up in Pennsylvania on the East Coast, and I now live in the Pacific Northwest, which both kind of have those same seasons. So even though like ancestrally I have those Hindu roots and I do want to explore them, my lived experience is the more similar seasons to what pagans had, compared to what people in India had. So that's why I also do really have that connection to the pagan side, and I didn't want to feel like, oh, I was just like learning about a Western culture or something and forgetting mine. But this is also my culture because the nature and the seasons overlap with what the pagans did. So yeah, then I looked up cleansing, consecrating, and charging. Those are kind of essentials that I'm apparently supposed to know, so I took some notes on those. I've done a little bit of it. I need to do more of cleansing, consecrating, and charging of my space and my tools. So that continued. And then this month I have a few of these layouts, just that are kind of collages. Instead of, if there were days where I didn't have really time to read a lot and research a lot, I still try to kind of learn something every day. And this month I kind of gave myself a little bit of a break, and I was like, even if I'm not learning and writing, just making something pretty that kind of resonates and feels like it reflects nature, the moon, just making that visual art is also, a way to kind of be in tune with myself and my craft. And then this is October 22nd. So these were kind of the 4 days of Diwali. And so I did just write down, so this day of Diwali was called Dhanteras, and I wrote down kind of what you normally do culturally there. So I am kind of exploring and featuring Hindu and Indian traditions as well, but it's not going to be, only that. So kind of just trying to incorporate all different aspects of who I am. And then I did another collage here. These are more days of Diwali. And then this was a new moon eclipse in Scorpio. And then I just have 2 spreads of just kind of collages or like little scraps. Again, it was just, I had some busy days and I wanted to keep going through the book. So I actually really like these pages. I really like looking at them. So yeah. And then this was October 28th. So at this point, Samhain was approaching. So I have some notes on Samhain and some like reflections about my failures and goals throughout this season, or through the coming season. And then Samhain itself, so some more notes on the history of it and how it was celebrated. And then actually on October 31st, the main day, I did a tarot reading and it was really nice. So I actually recorded it. It was a 7-card layout and these were what the different cards were. And I thought it was a good reading, so I wanted to be able to go back to it. And I really like this layout because I added some glitter to separate the different cards, and I like the way it turned out. And yeah, that is the month of October and the beginning of Samhain. So thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you a new season of, now that things are dying, just kind of let what needs to die. Happy New Year. The wheel of life is always turning, and as we enter these dark, quieter months, I hope you find time to relax, rest, recharge, and remember that there's always brighter days to come in the future.